Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Grimworks Productions Warhammer 40k, 30k, and AOS podcast Perils of the Warp. I'm your host Roman, and in front of me I have...
My name is John, and I am not so sure this is episode 5, but I was vetoed.
You were not vetoed because you did not say a thing about it.
I said it in my head.
Yeah, but if you don't say anything out loud, then nothing changes.
Oh, I wasn't very sure of myself. I just feel like we've done this more than 5 times.
I think that you're wrong. I think that since we only do this once a month, I think you're confusing it with the other podcast that you're on, City Podcast, which is available on Mondays, every new episode. And be sure to, come in 2 weeks, our anniversary podcast for that. So anyways, it's all about Warhammer here, people. I think it's number 5. I'm pretty goddamn sure it's number 5. But
whatever. I don't really care.
I'm 99% sure it's
I'm here, I'm queer, we're doing this.
Alright. Well, speaking about queers, fucking Ultramarines are getting some more stuff. Well, not necessarily Ultramarines, but Space Marines in general. Spice Marines!
Yes, but they always have the cover of the box pictured as Ultramarines. Fuck them.
Not in 7th or 6th. That was 6th was Dark Angels. And into 7th because there was really no difference besides a few things. It was Dark Angels, baby. Dark Angels and Chaos.
Well, that's before my time.
Or no, wait. That was 7th edition. 6th edition was Blood Angels and Tyranids. Because that was that Deathstorm box.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, like, on each individual box that you buy, it's always the Ultramarines.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it, yeah.
And then one thing that's always kind of rubbed me wrong is you get the decals in them, right? Mm-hmm. But you never get Iron Hand decals. Never. It's one of the fucking founding chapters, and you can't even get so much as a fucking Iron Man shoulder decal. Iron Hand.
I was like, what?
I'm a nerd. Iron is very broad spectrum in nerdism.
Yeah, but, I mean... You have to admit, Ferrus Manus was the only guy to get his head caved in.
Not the only dead Primarch, he just was the first one to die. But that has nothing to do with the chapter in 40k.
It's true. They seem to have kind of forgotten their Primarch, to be honest with you. It seems like they're just like, yeah, he's dead.
They have a special hatred towards anybody worshipping Slaanesh.
Yeah. I mean, fucking... It's funny because that's like the only god that I actually like in 40k. But Slaanesh is actually going to get a start collecting box for AOS, which is really cool. It's going to be a bunch of demons. Totally down for it. I'm probably going to buy that.
I was really hoping for some new models.
Yeah.
They look like fucking anteaters with their fucking tongues sticking out and their weirdly long, thin mouths.
Yeah, I mean... I don't think those they're going to change. I don't think they're going to invest, really, just because they're not getting a new release or a new book for them. They're the least... I think they're like the least popular out of all the army, out of all the 4 Chaos Gods. Of course, it's always Khorne and Nurgle and then Tzeentch, which Tzeentch has gotten more popular since he's gotten a new book. Which would beg the question why they're not doing the same thing for Slaanesh, but that is not my, I guess that's not my hill to die on. I don't know what you say about that. But, what do you want to talk about 40k? Because 40k, they're getting, they're already getting their new codex. That's already on pre-order. So, by the time you listen to this, that Saturday, the Space Marines codex will come out, which... I'm a fan of mini wargaming.
Love you guys. Hope you listen one day.
They won't.
But
they do have some interesting coverage on the codex. The thing is, one of the big concerning things for me as a Dark Angels Ravenwing player is apparently there might not be characters on bikes anymore. Like any character, like a librarian even, nothing can take a bike. So much so that White Scars, apparently their named HQ, the Kasaro Khan, cannot take a bike anymore. He's only on foot. I don't know what their decision behind that is. I don't understand it.
The thing about it that's so slap in the face is that everybody already has a bunch of stuff on bikes that they've had for years. I've only been playing for 2 years, and I've got a bunch of my Iron Hands on bikes. I got 2 librarians on bikes. I have an apothecary on a bike. I have a tech marine on a bike. That's only like 4 things, but I've only been playing for 2 years.
Yeah.
We have several White Scar players here in town. Pretty sure they have Kosarokan on the bike. We have several Ravenwing players here in town. You, Simon. Yeah, that's several. I don't know who else. Fuck me, right?
I think we're the ones that represent them the most, but I'm sure there is other people that do. But that kind of gets me worried for not just my things, but what about Space Wolves? Like, they're going to lose their cavalry? Their cavalry. Everybody says cavalry, and I was like, I know that's not right. I know that's not right. But cavalry. God damn it, that's a word I get stuck on. Anyways, what I'm worried is that they have a lot of things on there. Does that mean they're just gone too?
Did they say cavalry, or did they say specifically bikes?
They said specifically bikes, but what's the difference when they pretty much move the same amount? They pretty much have the same movement value.
Well, in New Hammer, in 8th edition, as it is called, whenever you're on a cavalry, the beast that you're riding itself has its own attack profile. For instance, my palanquin of Nurgle that I like to take for my sorcerer, it actually has its own attacks apart from the sorcerer. So the sorcerer gets his attacks with his awesome weapon, and then the Nurglings get to attack also. Same thing with Disc of Zinch, the Seeker of Slanesh, and the Juggernaut of Khorne. They're not just like tools to be ridden. They're actual living things that can attack after the rider attacks.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just a little disappointed because that's like, why are you excluding them? Again, they could be wrong, and I maybe could have taken their comment wrong, but they specifically said that their White Scars HQ no longer has a bike.
Which is, I really don't understand why they would do something so drastic after just releasing the indexes.
Yes.
It's like, hey, here's this book so that you don't have to worry. Everything that you've had before is still playable. And then 2 months later, it's like, hey, I'm going to kick you in the nuts. You take what you get.
Yeah. And, but yeah, I honestly just, I'm kind of, you can tell by my tone of voice that I just don't know really what I'm going to do, because I'm pretty sure the reason they did is because they don't want buffs to be like super out of the way kind of things. Like they don't want them to get out of hand. But I think there's maybe better ways to handle it. Since everything has a specific rule, you can change the movement value for a specific HQ on a bike. But they chose to just kind of take them all off together.
I don't see them fucking up Dark Angels that badly, because they have their boxes specifically come with those models. In Space Marines, if you wanted an apothecary and a bike, you'd have to take the top half of an apothecary and the bike and put it together. In Dark Angels, you have the apothecary and the ancient both in the same box.
Yeah.
That's how they're built. Samael's on a fucking jet bike.
They might just take off that model and just be like, yeah, he's the land speeder now, and that's it. So they could basically take away that model and justify it by like, oh, nobody has HQs on bikes, so he can't be there anymore. In which case, I now have a model that is utterly and completely useless. Like, I wouldn't be able to use.
I don't know. I need to watch this video.
Yes. We'll watch it afterwards. since I have the login and all that bullshit. But yeah, that's kind of one of the disappointing things. But other than that, trying to keep it on a more positive note. But when it comes to the codex, Ultramarines are kind of getting everything, like they always do. Apparently, one of the things with the White Scars is they can fall back and still be able to charge,
Which is awesome.
which is awesome. But weren't they always a shooty army? Why couldn't they fall back and shoot?
Because somebody else fallbacks and shoots.
Ultramarines?
Yeah.
You see, that's the thing is like Ultramarines, like when I think of Ultramarines, I always think of them charging into battle. So it would make sense if they would be able to fall back. But that's the thing, is that's an actual chapter tactic, while Ultramarines, is that an actual tactic or is that a stratagem?
No, that's part of their chapter tactic.
Okay, so it doesn't make sense. They should have had those reversed, to be honest with you. What else? Salamanders, which I did see salamanders. You kind of have to finagle like your way around it, but it's actually pretty damn good. They have a reroll. Every infantry unit can reroll one failed hit wound and one failed wound, or one hit and one wound.
Which is
on ones.
and you can pick it for any model in the unit, so it's kind of like mastercrafted on steroids.
Mm-hmm. So you can do that for like, salamanders like flamers and meltas. You can melt the shit out of somebody and re-roll it. And that's for everything. You can, let's say you have a melta gun, you're within melta range, so you're half distance. So you roll a 1, you can re-roll it because of that chapter tactic.
Or if you roll a 1, but you're near your HQ, he would let you re-roll that 1. But when you roll 2s, you're kind of fucked.
When you roll 2s, you're fucked.
So now you can re-roll that 2.
But no, that's the thing. It's one failed. No, it's not hit rolls of 1, I don't think. It's just a failed.
No, but I'm saying like if you had a multi-melta within range that was near your HQ, you could roll a 1 and be okay because he'd let you re-roll it.
No, but the chapter tactic isn't necessarily re-roll 1s.
No, but I'm just saying in a situation.
In that situation.
Yeah, like you'd be able to re-roll a 1 if you're close to your HQ, or a 2 if you weren't. Like you're just safe because you hit on 3-ups. So you can re-roll 1s using the HQ's ability or 2s using the chapter tactic. So you're basically almost not going to miss with the big gun in each unit.
And because of that chapter tactic, if you have like a plasma or something, you can supercharge and save it still, because that 1 would be a fail, and you can choose to re-roll it because of your chapter tactic. So you can. It's only good for like plasma guns, not necessarily plasma cannons, because plasma cannons are D3 shots. So if you get a 1 and then like it'll kind of get fucked there. But if you have plasma guns, melta guns, flamers, you can at least roll 1 more. You know what I mean, for your flamer. But it's fairly useful. Everybody kind of shit on it. It was like, oh my god, it's stupid. But if you build your list around re-rolling, you're gonna be golden. And they are a very infantry-heavy army anyway, so it turns out to be good. And the fact that you can re-roll that the actual wound, which is good for last cannons because you get 2d6 damage. So if you're like a 1 and you're like, it's not necessarily a fail, but I don't like it, you can re-roll it. So that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Imperial Fist, do you remember the Imperial Fist one?
The Imperial Fist, ignore cover when shooting. It's basically the only one that matters, because the second one sucks.
Second one is like revolving buildings, right?
Yeah,
and
you can re-roll failed wounds against buildings. Big whoop. Which
Yeah.
personally I didn't find very fluffy, because they're not supposed to be tearing down buildings. That's Iron Warriors. They're supposed to be bolstering buildings. So it could have been like a +1 in cover, which might have been broken, but didn't have to be that. But something more fluffy along the hold the line, man the tower type thing.
Yeah.
But I definitely love the ignores cover.
Yes, that's super good. I mean, how could you not like that? What else? Raven Guard. They have the. They have reroll.
Raven Guard. No. They are always in cover as long as they're 12 inches away.
Boom. Yeah, there you go. They can't get overwatched basically. They cannot. Their overwatch against them within 12 is nullified basically. Black Templars let you re-roll your failed charge attempts, which is good, especially since they're super assaulty.
Get a bunch of assault Marines.
Mm-hmm.
Have them come in over 9 inches away.
Mm-hmm.
Try to charge, fail, re-roll.
Get your veteran stern guards. Have them in a tank. Move them up. Fucking have them pile out 3 inches. Then they're actual.
Move and then get out of the vehicle.
How do you mean move?
You can't move the vehicle and then disembark.
I thought you could.
No, you have to disembark before you move the vehicle.
Okay, so you would have to disembark. Either way, you can set it up for a nice turn too, just to get them in optimum range because they pile out 3 inches outside of the vehicle, and then they get their 6-inch movement. So they in an event they do move 9. So that's pretty good. And then you can re-roll your failed charge attempts and get your stern guard that are super fucking OP with a bunch of chain swords or chain axes, anything like that, and have a bunch of plasma pistols and anything else. Fuck them up. Just completely annihilate something because you can re-roll. So that's gonna be pretty good.
I saw one match. This guy, he had a 10-man veteran squad, I guess, because the base attack was 2 and the sergeant had 3 attacks.
Okay.
And he kitted them out with double chain swords. Which seems weak because they're veterans; they can take any weapon they want. But he ended up rolling like 40 dice for close combat.
Yeah, because they have just 2 base, right?
Yeah, 2 base and then +1 for each chain sword. So they each have 4
attacks. 10-man. Sarge has probably 3 attacks instead of 2, so 41 dice basically.
He threw 41 dice. It's like, you're not surviving that probably.
Something's gonna die. But I mean, it's cool. All that is really cool, and apparently each chapter has their own stratagems. Apparently Ultramarines can take like the most dice basically for their command points. They can get like the most command points out of anything. Just because like Bobby G and all that bullshit.
Fuck him.
He adds more and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so look forward to that.
You're forgetting the best one.
What?
Iron Hands, baby. Forgetting my army.
I don't care about that at all. But go ahead.
Iron Hands. The flesh is weak. Any wound that you take, you can roll a 6 and ignore the wound.
Mm-hmm.
That includes mortal wounds.
Mm-hmm.
So, awesome.
Iron Hands they're a beefy army, so.
Yeah, I know. I didn't get to read all of them, but some of them were giving, or some, if not all of them, were giving specific rules to vehicles.
Okay.
So like the Iron Hands vehicles can move and fire heavy without the -1 penalty.
Mm-hmm.
I know some of the other ones had special rules for vehicles, but I didn't care because I play Iron Hands, so that's what I paid attention to.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's the same thing whenever I see like DA, BA kind of stuff. That's what I really pay attention to. Everything else is kind of secondary. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't care about them. But Primaris, Space Marines in general are getting more Primaris things. So they're gonna get 10-man Reaver squads instead of having the 15 for 3, the easy push, whatever the fuck. Instead of those, you're actually gonna have a 10-man. They're going to get their repulsor tank, which is the floating Primaris Rhino / Razorback.
It's a floating Land Raider. Its armor value is equivalent to that of the Land Raider.
Okay.
It's way more powerful defensively than a Rhino. It has a high toughness, and then it has defensive weapons.
Okay.
That I think like can fire Overwatch, even though it's a vehicle. And it also I think subtracts 2 from charge ranges. There's that grav thing. And then it holds 10 troops, and then it just has like 12 or 13 gun options.
Jesus. I don't know if I'm gonna buy those, to be honest with you, but I'm thinking what I'm going to buy or what I'm gonna save my money for, because I'm not gonna buy anything like the day it releases.
I'm gonna buy the dreadnought and the repulsor tank, just because in my Iron Hands is more vehicles than anything, and I want to make sure I have at least one of each vehicle in my army by the time I'm done with it. I still need some of the more obscure tanks that you don't usually see. I need the Hunter, the Stalker, and the
Predator.
No, the one with the missiles on the back.
Whirlwind.
The Whirlwind, yeah. I need those 3 tanks, or just the turrets at least, because I have plenty of Rhino bodies. And then I'll have one of each vehicle that's currently out.
Nice.
So I do wanna get the new vehicles coming out.
Okay. I'm not too sure if I want the repulsor just yet. I do want some of the Reavers, not for the way they look. I'm indifferent to the way they look, honestly.
Skullface!
I don't really care either way, but the rolls are pretty good. They pretty much have like anti-Overwatch grenades. They charge in, and it seems like they fuck shit up. But I'm gonna have to wait and see what it is. They also do have aggressors, and the reason I bring up aggressors is because I saw the post on GW from the Warhammer 40K official Facebook, and I saw that and I was like, man, I don't say anything about fucking Dark Angels having aggressors because I missed out on Centurions. I can't take Centurions, and I really wanted those models, but aggressors are kind of like the Primaris version of the Centurions, and I asked GW basically, like, are we gonna do Dark Angels have access to this? And GW actually replied to me. I was pretty excited about this. Actually, I think I have the text because I told John, because I was like, hey, GW actually looks at this bullshit. So
you dropped a question in the comment box, right?
So I said, will Dark Angels get access to the aggressor squads? And then somebody else replied, says, haha, probably not, though they are just Primaris Marines, but be our luck. We don't get that other stuff. GW, Warhammer 40,000, says, yup, and puts a link in for the Primaris release. And I said, awesome, with a exclamation point, because I was excited. I tried to make that work, people. I'm sorry. But, so I'll be able to get Primaris Centurions, which is cool. They're probably going to have the same amount of wounds. I don't see them, like, Primarising and give them, like, 1 extra wound. I think that'd be ridiculous, because Centurions are already 3 wounds apiece. But I'd be interested to see what they do. So, if anything, I'll probably buy those for my Dark Angels, especially. I'm going to hold off on bikes, because I did want to get more bikes, like Black Knights, because Plasma Talons are fucking cool as fuck. They put a hurting on people, and people are scared of them for some reason. I don't think they're that good, but whatever. But yeah, I'm interested to see what else I have access to. I'm wondering when Dark Angels are actually going to have their codex release, because it's the 4 that they said were like, it was Space Marines, Death Guard, Grey Knights, and was it Chaos Space Marines?
Chaos Space Marines.
So they're gonna have those 4 books, which is good. They're gonna have like enough. I just want to see when my 2 armies. I play Blood Angels and Dark Angels, which a little bit of sidebar of hobby progress. All the Primaris, I've pretty much put off sprues. I've cut them off. I've cleaned them up. I've glued them together, except for their arms, so that I don't cover their chests when I'm painting. But they're pretty much ready for they're pretty much ready for my airbrush. So hopefully I'll get those started soon. The only thing I haven't put together are the Sanguinary Guard, John, that you got me, and the librarian Dreadnought. Those are the only two I haven't put together. But other than that, everything else is put together and ready to be fucking.
The as far as the Dark Angels Codex goes, I know I've said it before that I really think that the Lion's gonna be the next good guy Primarch. So with Mortarion dropping probably in September, October, you'll probably get the good guy Primarch in December.
I'm hoping whoever the new good guy Primarch is, I hope it's a Lion, but I still am reserved about the whole thing. Anything Dark Angels, I'm assuming I'm just going to get fucked on because I usually Dark Angels do. Because apparently we're heretics or something. I don't think so, but that's just my biased opinion for the Emperor. Yeah, well, you think that Mortarion's going to come out that late? Because, I mean, it's already July.
It's the end of July, and the Space Marines book's coming out the last weekend of July.
Yes.
Okay? So then the week after that, which is already going to be August, you'll probably get the pre-order for the Chaos Space Marines book.
Okay.
They're going to come out back to back, but it's not going to be like, the very next week.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be at least 2 weeks later for the book to come out.
Okay.
Okay, and they already said that Death Guard's coming out after Chaos Space Marines. Chaos Space Marines first. Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would guess that the Grey Knight book would come out, and then the Death Guard book.
That's weird that the Death Guard book was chosen to be like one of the first 4 that they said they were going to. I wonder why.
Just because
Are Grey Knights like that popular? That I'm missing something completely?
I don't know if they're that popular. They probably are trying to reinvigorate it.
Do you think the Grey Knights are? Is the rest of the Imperium gonna have their own book, or are they gonna be folded into possibly the Grey Knights, which are part of loosely with the Inquisition and all that?
No. I don't think they'll put the Inquisition in with the Grey Knight books. It's been a while since they just loped those two in together. I do think you're gonna get the Imperial Guard book's something gonna be by itself.
Yes.
As far as Sisters and Inquisition, that might be loped into one, along with the Assassins.
And the Sisters of Silence and the
Custodies.
The Custodies.
Yeah, it'll probably be like another Imperial Agents book.
Okay. Hopefully better than that first one can sucked. But, alright. I mean, I'm kind of just... So you're saying August... Or you're saying September will be Death Guard and Mortarion. Then it's October, November, and you would think December they'll have the Lion come out.
End of November, maybe. Or December. That's when they started the whole thing around Christmas time with Magnus.
I don't know. I guess it makes sense because after September, they're not really gonna focus on 40K too much. I think
they got the General's Handbook 2 coming out.
They have the General's Handbook coming out, I think, in August. So I think it might be like 1 month on, 1 month off for 40K. They might switch. So I'm interested in the General's Handbook since I just bought the starter sets or the Stormcast side of the starter set. So I have to remember these names. I got the Lord Retributor, which is the guy with the big banner. I have I think it's the Lord Celestant on the Dracoth is the big piece. I have 2 units of Judicators, which are their regular, they're regular guys. They call them frontline or like orderly or something. I don't know what they call them, but they're your baseline, I think is what they're called. But they're basically your troops choices. And the ones that I have, the prosecutors. fuck, I can't remember. Anyways, prosecutors, they have hammers and shields, so that's cool. And then I have 3 retributors, which are like their Terminators. They're like assault Terminators. They have big ass hammers that fuck shit up. And then the 3 flyers, which are the Perjudicators. I can't remember all the names. They're weird to me. But I do still have to buy their battle tome. So hopefully in the next few weeks I'll be able to, but we'll see with money tight, all that bullshit.
And
We'll
I
see what
have
can do.
the other half of that box, the corn half. And for my birthday, Roman did buy me the corn bloodbound tome, so I'm good there.
Which, side note, I think they might replace it with a new battle tome for the Chaos.
Fuck me, right?
You didn't buy it, so don't worry about it. You'll have to buy the new one, maybe. But yeah, they're constantly like re-releasing those books. I think there's a 3rd Stormcast book, and I think it might be the same thing for Korn. So they tend to, since those are the 2 big armies, they tend to just cycle those books out pretty frequently, it seems like. But everything has its problems. Who knows? But yeah, General's Handbook is coming out. Apparently, it's not going to change any. They're saying that it's not going to change any like core rules. It's just going to change like a lot of points values and things like that, which is cool. So hopefully another $25 book, and we'll be into Age of Sigmar. But me and John did play a couple of games of 40K now. So we did play a 75 point or 75 power level. Which you can see if you have not on the Grimworks channel here on YouTube. It was, I think, 2 weeks ago, where you can see it. It was my Dark Angels versus his Iron Warriors. I don't know why he brought his Iron Warriors. I guess he just didn't want to play Chaos that day.
Iron Hands. Because Iron Warriors is Chaos.
Whatever. It doesn't matter to me. You're all Slytherin.
Why didn't I play Chaos?
Yeah, I was wondering why you didn't play Chaos.
I don't know. I just wanted to play my Iron Hands. I really wanted to see how all those tanks were gonna do.
They did well. I barely put any dents in them.
Yeah. It just I get really worried, without having that many people boots on the ground, that my tanks are just gonna get attacked and get stuck in combat and be useless for the whole game. So that was my first test there. I've been working on the list a little bit.
Okay.
Definitely gonna get some just regular attack squads, I guess, to put inside the Razorbacks. To try to protect stuff.
I mean, you can even, if you really want to protect them, you can even use like Stern Guard or the company veterans, things like that, because they can be a specialized group in there. And really be able to protect it while your tank just kind of slides out and moves on its merry way.
The Razorback can hold 6. So I was thinking about using veterans and giving them double chain swords, like I saw that guy use.
I don't see a reason why not.
And so 6 times 4 would be 30 attacks. Maybe? I think I'm doing that really wrong.
Yeah, you
24?
Yes.
24. 25 with the sergeant.
25 with a sergeant.
So that's not a bad amount of dice.
That's not a bad amount of dice, and you know what? The only thing that I would say is to maybe save some command points for those times, so that you can interrupt the flow of battle and actually be able to swing first. So you can put a really big hit on them. Or just a suggestion. You can probably take a company ancient with them, since it's only held 6. Put the 5-man squad and them, and make sure that if they do die, they'll be able to swing back with the banner that close.
That's what I'm doing right now because I don't have veterans. I do have one company ancient so far, and so for right now, it's going to be Sergeant with the Power Sword, Company Ancient with the Power Sword. Everybody else with just a regular stock. That way I can at least get some AP in there and definitely get that that last swing as they die.
Yeah, that'll really be nice. And I don't know.
Also got an apothecary on a bike, which apparently I'm not gonna be able to use anymore.
Yeah, I'll be able to use it for a little while, um, until December maybe. But yeah, and that's the thing that sucks is getting back to that. I don't know why I did it. But we're gonna move away from that. My army did okay. My assault squad, my jump pack squad, got annihilated very quickly. If you do see the video, we're not gonna spoil the ending, but they get annihilated fairly early on. Um, I need to figure out how to really play those guys. Um, because I kept them until turn 2 and they dropped out of the sky. Luckily, I was able to get them um, near the relic that we were playing next to, but they did not get a chance to show off what they actually got, and I'm kind of sad about that. So I'm gonna still put them in a list. I'm still trying to make a more green wing kind of list. So those Primaris Marines, I might actually just use them. Since I do use a lot of plasma with my Dark Angels, I might do the Hellblaster squad first.
Plasma incinerator.
Mm-hmm. So they have a 30-inch plasma, so I'll probably do those first and paint those up along with my interceptors. Which interceptors can do, I think they can do a lot more. I had to tie up a tank, so I kind of had to make them a sacrificial lamb. But in the end, it was a good game. It was a different game for me because I was stupidly outnumbered by firepower. That's one thing that I'm worried about when I do make a green wing list. I don't have many vehicles for transport or things like that, so I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do there. But that's pretty much that game. Did you play any other games?
No, I haven't played anything recently. I've been working on my World Eaters list that I was playing with before, the one with all the jump packs. I'm really happy with the way my jump packs have been working because I just dropped them turn 1 and charge. I don't give a damn. Failed charge, I don't care. You're going to get hit with something because there's 4 of them coming at you, so at least one of them's going to make it in and tie you up.
Yeah.
But I took out a lot of the stuff that I didn't like the way it was working. And I'm now using, what do you call them? The Trader Astra Militarum.
Trader Astra Militarum.
They are the heretics and something.
The Tempestus?
No.
No?
It's from the New Forge World book.
Ah, okay, that explains why.
Yeah, but basically they're corrupted Astra Militarum. They get everything that the Astra Militarum has. They get plus a little bit of other things. Definitely a lot more psychers. I think all of, if not the majority of their psychers, their HQs have at least 1 psychic power. So I went ahead and I added 2 Lehman Russes, a psychic commander, and some militia guard. Well, renegade militia. Renegades, heretics, and renegades. That's what they're called. So they're renegade militia instead of whatever the Cadians were called. But basically the exact same profile.
Okay.
And I know like the army can take cultists, like 40k cultists.
Okay.
It could also take whatchamacallem, chaos bonds.
Okay.
And they have Ogrins, but they also have Nurgle Ogrins, which I guess are slimier.
Oh, the Ogrins, yeah.
Yeah. So there's some pretty interesting stuff in the army. Playing it pretty simple though, just a couple of tanks to stay on the ground because I need at least 50% of my army to be on the ground for my jump packs deep strike. So it's 2 tanks, the psychic commander and the militia.
Okay.
And then all my world eaters will be deep striking jetpacks.
Nice.
So that's what I'm working on right now.
My green wing army is mainly revolving around jump packs. Too, because I like jump packs. I like things that can move fast, basically. That's why I picked bikes. And jet packs. The infantry I get kind of pissed off at because they're so fucking slow. I like the Terminators. It's just I haven't really had a chance to play with much Terminators. The whole deep striking 9 inches without scatter is great, but I fell so many charges. Like 9 inches, a 9 inch reach charge for me is ridiculously hard. I think I failed like 4 of them on one of the games that we had played a while back. Like all my Terminators whiffed, so I was like, I was super salty about that. Um, but yeah, maybe it's my dice, maybe it's my luck, maybe it's the way I'm positioning. I have no idea, but I want to rework kind of a Terminators list, or not necessarily a Terminators list, but include them in there without trying to rely so heavily on my bikes. Because now that I know what's happening with bikes, I'm kind of gonna put them on the back burner a bit and maybe build up the rest of that army. As for my Blood Angels, yeah, it's mainly gonna be like a bunch of tac squads that come from Primaris. It's gonna be a Furioso Dreadnought, the Librarian Dreadnought, a Sanguinary Priest, Sanguinary Guard, the Assault Marines that you had, and I'm gonna see if I can find any more.
There's 20 of them, right, in that box?
In that box that we've been trading back and forth because we don't know what to do with. Okay, so a little story. John had gotten this trade where it was 20 Raven Guard jump packs, super nicely painted.
Like pro painted.
Yeah, pro painted. They were awesome looking. And he said, I'm not gonna use them. This is back in 7th edition. He was just like, I'm just not gonna use them. And I was like, I guess I'll take them. I've been wanting to make. At that point, I was just Dark Angels. I was like, I can make some Dark Angels. And then I was like, I'm not gonna use these. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I don't want to strip them down. They're too nice. And John was like, I think you use them in maybe his Iron Hands. And he was like, my Iron Hands is just tanks. So, and then I was like, I'm really starting to work on my Blood Angels army, and they're super assaulty, super attacky. So, he's going to give them back to me. So, we've been trading these things for like 2 years, trying to see what the fuck we're going to do with it. And finally, I'm going to strip them. I have to. And then paint over them with some Blood Angels colors. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to start painting all Blood Angels because I've painted Dark Angels for 2-3 years now, and I want to paint something different.
Yeah, I know you had said like why don't you just make a small Raven Wing Force?
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, these things are pro painted. They are straight up pro painted. All they need to because there's 20 of them. So all they would need to make not a spearhead, an outrider detachment is an HQ.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the shittiest looking HQ compared to these guys. So I'm like, fuck it. Also, I don't care so much for Raven Guard fluff.
Mm-hmm.
And then primarily their rule is really fucking great. Their chapter rule, but it only works outside of 12 inches. And these are Assault Marines. They're gonna come in at 9 inches, and well, the rule's useless.
Yeah.
So, strip them, paint them red.
Yeah.
Blood for the Blood God.
No. I don't do that. I don't do any of that shit. Alright, Sanguinius, baby. I'm tied to him psychically somehow, even though he's been dead for nearly 10,000 years. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to start that. I've been looking at a bunch of tutorials on how to paint red on my fucking airbrush because I've never done that. Kind of scared, to be honest with you. But I found some simple ways to maybe make them look good, and I'm probably gonna try some. I have that big thing of Tech Marines too, which honestly I'm probably gonna save a bunch of those Tech Marines. They're old style Tech Marines. That I'm probably gonna save for the Imperial Fist because me and John do like the fluff for Imperial Fist.
Yeah, paint gloves.
I always want to paint yellow because I think it's a weird color that I think I can get my teeth into. I'm a really big hobbyist.
Which, incidentally, I did decide that yellow is going to be the color of my zombies bio suits.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like the way the orange looked. I know you didn't like the way the orange looked.
No, I thought the orange looked terrible.
Yeah. So my first thought was baby blue because I don't know, like from Scrubs or something, where they have the decontamination suits and they were baby blue.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't have a baby blue paint, and I'm in my boxers, so fuck it, yellow.
Yeah. I'm completely fine with us putting together some pieces for Imperial Fists. I can finally use Centurions in a list.
I have a box of Centurions that's still in the plastic. I wanted those Centurions so badly, and I finally got them and never opened them. I was like, nah, fuck it, tanks. And then I was like, you know what? I can put those Centurions in a fucking in a Storm Raven. So I got a Storm Raven, and that thing's still in the box. So all that's gonna be Imperial Fist.
Yeah. So I'm excited about having an Imperial Fist army. I mean, that's pretty much all that we have to pretty much say about that, right? Oh, 30K. I got a little notification on Facebook that apparently Forge World is going to soon release the that HQ for the Blood Ravens.
Ah, yes.
That nice ass looking HQ. So nice that I'm like, hey, should I buy it? Maybe. I don't know. He looks cool. I could probably use him as a badass fucking Blood Angels kind of dude. Even though he's Blood Raven, whatever. I don't care about it.
Could use him as Azrael with the hammer.
I could use him as Ezreal with the hammer.
Is it Azrael?
No.
Ezekiel.
No. Belial.
Belial.
Which, honestly, I like the Belial. I know a lot of people give that model shit, the Belial model. But honestly, I like it, and I've been thinking about just buying another one and converting that one.
Yeah, because I get the hammer and the storm shield.
Yeah, just get a hammer and storm shield from somewhere else. Or buy a Terminator's box and get a storm shield from them. Because I want more Terminators, because I want more Cyclones, missiles. I love missiles. I think they're great. Oh, and thanks to John, I actually have a Cyclone missile pod for my Imperial Knight.
Oh, yeah.
So I have that. The only thing is, I want to magnetize it before anything else.
It's already been magnetized.
That is, but not the rest of my knights.
Oh, okay.
I want to magnetize the rest of my knight before I actually make sure that I want to paint it up. And I've decided that I'm going to paint it white.
Oh.
No, not pink. But thanks to John, I don't think he likes Emperor's Children, so I'm going to take his Noise Marines, strip them, and then repaint them.
I like Emperor's Children. I definitely.
No, you don't.
Loved reading about them in Fulgrim. That was a great fucking book.
Yeah, if you haven't read Fulgrim.
I nowhere near being done with the 3 gods that I'm already. Yeah, I'm spread far and thin.
Yeah, so I'll take those off your hands. And with the AOS box, I'll just buy an AOS box to start collecting a box for Slanesh, and I'll have a Slanesh army.
Speaking of Slanesh, I did recently realize something awesome about everybody's favorite Dr. Frankenstein. Turns out Fabius Bile, in 7th edition, his rule only applied to a single unit of regular Chaos Space Marines. Now he can do it, apparently, at the end of every movement phase to any infantry.
What's his rule?
You roll a d3 and either add +1 attack, +1 strength, or +1 toughness.
Okay. And he does it at the end of each each movement phase,
including my opponents.
Okay.
At the cost of d3 mortal wounds per unit.
Okay, so yeah, okay, it's that sacrifice one. You're telling me. All right, okay. And you can do it multiple times to each unit.
I think only one unit can be buffed one time.
Okay.
But at the end of the battle, you could probably have done it to your entire army.
And that buff lasts how long?
The whole game.
All right, fair enough.
And before it used to be just Chaos Space Marines, but
Uh-huh.
you would never take just Chaos Space Marines. At least before Traitor Legions came out.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can do it to anything. Terminators, jump packs. Jump packs are infantry, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they're jump pack infantry, basically.
regular Marines, your HQ if you want to risk doing D3 mortal wounds.
Your Terminators.
Your Terminators, Chosen, Possessed, whatever.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I want to see what they're really going to do with the Chaos Space Marines. In general, I want to see how they're going to maybe improve Emperor's Children, maybe fuck them up again. I have no idea. But I want to see what they do with them before I actually really start getting ideas for that army. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully by this week, like the end of this week, I'll have my stuff, my BA primed, or at least primed, and hopefully I can put like an undercoat base or something. I don't know. I still need to figure out their bases. I got to figure out about what is it, Cygnus Prime, or I think it's Cygnus Prime, where they're on. I got to figure out what the moon is. I had this idea for like these kind of like moon dust craters on the actual base, and in the craters use like a still water and make like little green pools of radioactive material. So I don't know if that's my original idea. I don't know if it's gonna stray anywhere else. But that's pretty much it for this episode of Perils of the Warp.
Episode maybe 5.
Episode maybe 5. I'm 99% sure it's 5. But again, thanks for listening. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, and click that little bell next to the subscribe button, just so that you get notifications and that YouTube understands that you want more content from us. If you're listening to this on SoundCloud, go ahead and follow us on SoundCloud and give us a little heart on the episodes that you do like, including this one. And if you're listening to this on iTunes, go ahead, rate, review, subscribe there. And remember to please review there. Rate and review, because we need both, so we can get the Grimworks network out to more people, because we cover a lot of things and a lot of different hobbies that we like. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
You can also email us.
You can almost. Yeah, I fucking keep forgetting that for some reason. But yes, you can email us if you're listening to us any other way at citypod88@gmail.com. And in the description, just put Warhammer or 40K, 30K, AOS, whichever one you have a question about or comments about, go ahead and leave them there. But thank you for listening again to episode 5 of Perils of the Warp. My name is Roman.
My name is John.
And see you later, bros.